everybody! In today's video, I'm going to be going through my rendering process and basically a step-by-step on how I go from start to finish, because I know a lot of people have been wondering how I do that. So here's the full completed video of that. So first I open up a canvas any size. I usually pick the size depending on what I'm doing, and I start setting it up what I want to do. Sometimes you'll see me do like a full sketch beforehand where it's like a base and everything, but with this video I just go straight into sketching what I'm going to be rendering over as the final piece. So I'm a lot more confident with my lines in this piece because I'm heavily referencing a screenshot from the My Hero season 6 animation, and so that's why also you'll see throughout this video I'll take like these like short pauses. They were long pauses, but I was like looking down at my phone to make sure that nothing was like off or just like wrong, which you'll see me do here in a second because I get frustrated with the eye that I'm drawing and I have to take a breather and just like step away. This is where I take a long pause because I can't freaking figure out how to draw his eye. Oh my god. Eventually I do lock in and I do have to like change his like cheek, and I step away from the eye for a second, but I have to change his like cheek and then I go back to his eye. I figure out his left eye, but as like many artists know, drawing both eyes very similar is like one of the hardest things that you can do. I struggle with it a lot. I struggled with it during this too, which was kind of crazy. We're gonna pretend like you didn't just see that, and we're gonna go back to the drawing where I lock in and I start working on the eye and I start fixing it up and actually using the reference correctly instead of trying to like haywire my way through this. There's also gonna be one of my favorite things, which you'll see once I finish the sketch, is I'm gonna like copy this and paste it because I'm doing like two different versions of this drawing in one piece, and I was not about that life where I would just redraw everything. So I made sure this top drawing was good, and I just like copied it and pasted it in the square below and like changed what I needed to and like tilted it around. So this footage is actually like, I think it took me 3 days to do this because I kept putting my tablet down and I kept walking away from it. Going through all of this, I kept taking these like long pauses, and they don't seem too long because I have the video like sped up, but like actually going through this was like a good 2 hours of footage that I had to like go through and cut crap out because I kept putting my tablet down and like walking away for like hours and then coming back to it and starting to work again. So I had to cut all of that out, and then I went through and started cutting out where I just got distracted on my phone because I would go back to the reference and like maybe try to find like a color reference or like a specific reference that I could use for his eye or something, and then I start like doom scrolling on TikTok and I'd forget what I was doing, which ugh, it got on my nerves because doom scrolling on TikTok is ugh, it gets you locked in there and you forget everything that you're about to do. Also, can we just like take a second and talk about how fucking hard it is to draw in like hair like Horikoshi does it, because it's literally incredible the way that man draws hair. It Since I have the video sped up, you can't see how long it took me to figure out like the different ways it like bends and stuff like that. But like that's freaking amazing. I always had such a hard time drawing hair, so doing it like this, it's just like 10 times more difficult, I think. Step 2. After you sketch everything out that you need, either working from the basis sketch or just finalized sketch, we go on to flat colors. Flat colors is like the underpainting. It's like the base of colors that you're gonna want to put down until you like start rendering over everything. That's what when I do digital art, very much compare it to traditional art where you have your sketch, you do your underpainting, and then you paint over everything. That's how I do my work. So with this flat colors, I don't really do like the stereotypical one color for the skin, one color for the hair, one color for the eyes, one color for the I actually lay down what colors I want where, like where specific shadows go. I put in some detail here so that when I go and move to rendering, I don't lose that like image that I have in my head of what I want it to look like. I know not a lot of people do it like this. This is just how I do it. And I'm not saying you have to do it like me in order to like have the same outcome of art. This is just what helps me get to my finished product, and it might help you if you try it. I will say that I do add like way too much detail doing the like flat, well, quote unquote flat colors. That's what I'm calling it, despite that's what it's not usually is when I'm drawing. I actually put like a lot of detail into what's supposed to be just like either cell shading or like flat colors. Um, but like it helps me. It helps me get to a finalized product that I want in the end. So I usually, if I'm drawing a My Hero Academia character, which is what I'm kind of known for, I will use like color references from different like manga covers or stuff like that, especially for their like skin tone or hair colors, because it's always slightly off whenever I try to like get it on my own. But that's what I did here. I didn't color pick anything here. I was just eyeballing all the colors, but his colors are pretty simple and easy. It's a very pale character. Everything was very pale, and then the bright colors of red, it helped everything pop a little bit. Step 3. My drawings usually take 3 steps: sketch, flat colors, and now we're on to rendering, which is one of my favorite parts in the drawing process. Again, what you'll be seeing me do a lot is just actually painting over everything. I make a layer above both the flat color and my line art, and I just color over everything. Right here is where I literally took like a 6-hour break, and then I come right back to it. I honestly don't really have too many tips I can give people when it comes to how I render. Um, I have attempted to like teach people how I do things, but it's very hard because there's a lot of madness in the way that I color, and I just like throw colors and like different hues onto my canvas and just like pray that they will blend together correctly. I will say if you're trying to achieve a specific rendering style, based off of an artist or just like something that you are really interested in, pull up a reference. References are like key when you're drawing, especially if you're a beginner. Nobody's gonna hate on you if you have something that is heavily referenced. Usually give credit or say, I use this as my reference, or put a picture up of it. If something is like heavily referenced, nobody's gonna be like, you can't draw just because you referenced something. That's a really big thing in the art community, actually, where people will be like, oh my god, you reference something, you use this as a reference. I can tell you use this as a reference. You can't draw, you can't do anything from imagination. Don't do that. Don't be that person. The only time I will like ever be genuinely mad at somebody for like using a reference is if they like trace the reference and then don't credit the artist or the original creator, or if they literally like draw this thing and it's like heavily referenced. They don't give any sort of like credit or like be like, oh hey, this is what I used as my reference. That's like, let's be like decent people about it. You can do art studies, but never claim an art study as your own art, especially if you are studying somebody's art style. That's just inconsiderate to the original artist. How many freaking pauses do I take throughout this video? I'm doing like a voiceover instead of like actually like talking as I'm like drawing. And like I'm watching all the cuts I had to make because I kept taking these really long pauses where I would like get distracted on like TikTok or something. Um or I'd like start doom scrolling on Pinterest, like looking at references where like, oh, this is really cool. I could do something with this. This is awesome. I could do something with this. And then I just like lose all like control of what I'm doing. What you're gonna see me do here in a little bit is like cheating the system again. Instead of like when I was sketching it, sketching both top and bottom, I just copied and pasted it. That's what I'm gonna do with the rendering. Once I finish the top rendering, I'm just gonna copy paste it and put it on the bottom. It takes me a second to figure it out because I'm like cookie cuttering it and like moving stuff around a lot, but I think work smarter, not harder. That's that's my way of doing things. If there's an easier way to do something, I'm gonna choose the easier option. Efficiency, right? I finished this drawing a lot faster because I did that. And I think that's great. I would do it again and again. If something is like super similar and I drew it, like if I drew hair a specific way, like that's I've done that before. Like I had this Bakugo drawing and I was like, dude, I did this hair and I did this amazing. And I tried drawing a different Bakugo and the hair was so bad that I literally just copied and pasted the rendering onto the hair. And I was like, oh my god, wow, look at this. This is awesome how they look super similar. And I did that both times all on my own. Wow. Oh, as I finish up this drawing, sorry. As I finish up this drawing, I just want to talk about like certain things about this year that have been like fucking crazy for me. Because this whole year and like my art growth has been absolutely insane. The stuff that I used to be creating at the beginning of the year, and or no, I'm actually lying to you. Last year, I forgot that. Let me start this over. Oh my god. The stuff that I was creating from last year, at the beginning of last year to now, my growth is actually insane. And it's literally because I've been doing hella art studies. Study your anatomy, study your rendering, study your lighting, study color theory. Study color theory. You might not think you need it, but study color theory. And like study perspective and backgrounds and everything. You're gonna use some of that eventually in your art career, even if you think you're not going to. And so like I don't know, I've attempted to make a YouTube video I think like a year ago, and it's been sitting in my files ever since because like I never had the confidence to start like posting, nor did I have the following to start posting. But I started getting more of a following on TikTok and then Twitter and then Instagram. And now I'm posting YouTube shorts and I'm getting some traction from that. So I think this is all really cool. And the people that I've met along the way are really cool. I don't think I would have started a YouTube channel if it wasn't for my friends Isaac and Blue. So this is why you guys are watching this video, is because I got the confidence from them. um this is actually a very old drawing too. uh this I was supposed to make this video like a few weeks ago, but I didn't. So here we are, where I'm posting a drawing that I posted like weeks ago. The speed paint finally is gonna come up. And I also did realize that I didn't really have like tips and tricks. I kind of just like talked, which is fine. It's my video. I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. I did struggle with rendering his tongue though. I'm like watching this. It's like I'm watching it alongside you guys right now because I haven't like actually sat through the whole thing. I did have a lot of trouble rendering his tongue because I wanted it to look like semi-realistic but also very like stylized. I ended up trying to like put like spit, like slobber on it because like I was like, oh my god, tongues have like slobber on it, but I was like, this looks wrong and you can't see it when you zoom out, so I just took it away. He just doesn't need it anymore. So this is basically where I'm finishing up with it, and I actually am really happy with how it turned out despite it not getting the like same traction as some of my other things. You can see the full like piece. I'm gonna show it here in a second, but you can see the full piece on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, so here's the full piece. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll probably try to make more videos like this or just like videos about my art studies or something like that because this was kind of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy and subscribe. I can say that now 'cause this is a YouTube video. Subscribe, like for more videos like this. Comment and tell me your favorite My Hero Academia fact that you think I don't know. Because I probably know. Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye.